Hiya, welcome back to another speed build. So today we are building in the trailer park in Strangerville, and I think this pack came out a couple weeks ago now, and I have to say it's probably one of my favorite game packs. It's just kind of something different that I feel like we haven't really had in The Sims before, and I've just found it really fun. I think it could have actually been like an expansion pack, but I'll talk about that a bit more later. For this build, I wanted to use this new swatch that came with the pack, the kind of corrugated iron, and do a shipping container that had been renovated into a tiny house. Yes, so I can't believe we haven't had this kind of swatch before, because it's just really neat, and so yeah, I wanted to use it. I had quite a few problems with this build towards the end, because as you see, I wanted to have that space under the build empty, so it's like sitting on wheels. So I made it a 2-story house and then deleted the first floor and moved it down, but I found later on I had problems that the Sims couldn't actually walk into the house, and so I was like deleting all these items around the door because they were saying they couldn't get in. And I think I spent about an hour trying to figure out what it was, and it was that the first story was like too far into the ground, even though it doesn't appear so. So I ended up having to like delete that and moving this lot, I guess, which is on the second floor, back to the first. So if you decide to download this into your game from the gallery, it does actually have the, I've lost the word right now, the bit under it, so there's no gap. There's the, okay, I'll think of the word later. But anyhow, a lot of the items that came with the Strangerville pack were kind of cool, like worn down items and like splashes of gunge and those kind of things that I really like to use in some builds. But for this one, I thought it'd be nice to have quite a, I guess, nicer interior. I didn't want it to be all worn down. Like, I know a lot of people have been doing like the worn down, dirty caravan type builds, but I don't know, for this one I just felt like having a kind of nicer interior. But I definitely want to use those items in another build soon because they're really awesome. So yeah, Strangerville has been out a couple weeks now, and I was hoping to get up a build much sooner, but things got quite busy at work. I work in visual effects, so we do like TV shows and movies, and sometimes when it gets quite close to a deadline, it's like crunch time and we need to put in more hours at work. So I tried to do a 60-hour week, so it's like at work for 12 hours. It's quite long, but I ended up getting quite sick from doing that after a couple of days. I don't know, it just wasn't good. So I had to take a bit of a break, and I just didn't really feel up to building and making a video. But yeah, I'm gonna maybe try upload a couple videos this week to make up for it, but I'll see how I go. So for this, I moved the house just to the right back side of the lot, and then I also put in that little kind of public bathroom that came with Jungle Adventure to make it look like this is kind of the common area to the left that people from other caravans or trailers also use. Yeah, just kind of give it more of a look that this has been driven in and parked here temporarily. And I think I did most of the bathroom off camera, I can't remember, but it is quite a large bathroom just because I wanted to keep the width of it the same as the main shipping container room, to look like it had just been kind of chopped into a third and then added onto the side there. But yeah, I played through the Strangerville kind of mystery story and I had so much fun. It made me like, it reminded me of World Adventures from The Sims 3, and I was just like, I just want more mysteries and like more things to solve, because yeah, it was really fun, but once it was over it was like, oh, I just want more like I totally think this could have been a full-on expansion pack, and they could have added in like more mysteries or things to go off and figure out. Like, there's just so much potential with it. But yeah, it's actually kind of interesting as well, because while the world is still small for a game pack, it's pretty decent. Like, I counted the amount of lots in this, and there's only one less compared to Dalsol Valley, which Get Famous was an expansion pack, and yet that world is the same size as this, which is a game pack. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. So I end up changing the flooring quite a bit. Originally it was grey to kind of match with the corrugated iron, but I felt it was a bit too cold, so I switch it to one of these kind of warmer timber floors. I think that one was from Jungle Adventure, and yeah, I just think it works a bit better. And I just put some little pot plants and things outside, so it kind of makes it look like the sim has set this up as their little home base for now. And then I go back into the house and put just a few more clutter items around. I didn't want it to be like overly cluttered, but still make it look like it's lived in. I also went ahead with the debug cheat just to add in a few more things. I really should use it more often, because there's some neat clutter things, just like cleaning stuff. The remote is really cool, the TV remote. And yeah, just lots of little items that give it that feeling of being more lived in, I guess. And just on the outside there, you'll see the wheels. I thought those lights kind of just looked the best as wheels. I think I used them in one of my tiny house trailer park builds, so I think then when I was like playing around with different kinds, I thought that was the best, but I just turned off all those lights individually so they don't like glow in the night time. But yeah, here I was just adding bits of the soil around the place and tracks to make it look like the car had just driven in and parked there. Yeah, just by adding those little things, it always looks a bit more realistic, I find. Yeah, also I like that satellite that came with this pack, it's pretty awesome. And I think it came with some new vents as well, which are always handy. So here I'm just putting the finishing touches on the house. Hopefully I can do some more builds soon. It's just a matter of finding time when I'm working full time, because yes, there's not usually a lot of it, but I would definitely like to do some more builds, like continue that building Starlight Boulevard in Dalsol Valley, and also the new kind of, what's it called, like in Strangerville, the nicer neighbourhood with all the Victorian houses. I'm doing a renovation for one of those, and it'd be cool to build one as well, I think. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll try get another video up this week or very soon. But I hope you're enjoying your week, whether you're quite busy or it's more relaxed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!